Hey everybody, it's your daily report with your friend Angry Tim. Uh, Today I wanted to do a story. This is from Yahoo Finance. It's about the cost of owning a home is now 35% more expensive than renting. The average, the historical average, is about 14% more expensive to own a home than to rent, but now it's 35% more expensive to own a home versus renting a home. And a lot of the reasons, the homeowner insurance, as we all know, insurance prices have gone crazy. So insurance has made it very expensive to own a home. Also, the higher mortgage rates have made it very expensive to own a home. And also just maintenance. With inflation, the cost of just maintaining your home. You need a new roof, you need a new water heater, you have a lawn, you have to, lawn service, plumbing, every little thing costs more now. Um, but now it's 35% more expensive to own versus rent. Now, is it better to rent a home or own a home? Um, I kind of see it like in the short term, it's a lot cheaper to rent and it's easier. You can just move into a place. You don't have to go through ESCO, put a down payment and all this other stuff. And then, when you move into an apartment, you typically have a 1 or 2 year lease you have to sign. But after that, if you decide you want to move to a different apartment or you want to move to another state, you can just pack your things and go. Where if you own your home, you're kind of stuck there. Say you owned a home and you need to transfer to a new job in another state, you either have to sell your home or you'll have to rent it out. And maybe you don't want to rent it out, or maybe your mortgage is so high that the rent doesn't cover your mortgage, so you want to sell it. But if the market is down right now, maybe you're upside down on your loan, meaning if you sold your house, you would still owe the bank money. And if you don't have that extra money to cover your losses, then technically you can't sell your house. It would be considered a short sale. So you're stuck where you are. You can't, move and get that other job position in another state because you can't rent your home or you can't sell your home. So in those types of situations, yeah, it makes a lot more sense just to rent, especially if you're not stable, where you have to be in one town, for the next 30 years. You can just move from New York to LA if you're just kind of hopping around. Your job doesn't have to be in a specific region. It would make more sense just to rent. But in the long term, it seems I have a video coming up after this. We're going to do a little comparison, renting versus owning. Um, and how that works out. Even in the crazy market today, is it worth it to buy a home versus rent one? Especially if you're not planning to be moving, every 1 or 2 years, you can stay in the same area for, at least 5, 7 years. It might be worth looking into owning rather than renting. Um, a lot of people think it's kind of like a car. You can lease a brand new car for a lot cheaper than, going out and buying a car. And then when you lease it, you don't have to worry about the maintenance. You don't have to worry about anything. It's kind of like renting a home. All the repairs and things like that, the landlord handles that. And same with leasing a car. While you're leasing it, you don't need to worry about any of the maintenance on the car. That's all handled by the whoever you're leasing it from, the dealer. But when you own the car, after your warranty is up, typically 2 to 3 years, you are liable, right? You got to pay for all the repairs, all the maintenance. If the engine blows up after your 3 years or whatever your warranty is, you're stuck. You got to fix it or replace it yourself. Um, Same with the home. When you own that home, the water heater goes out or the roof is bad, you have damage or a flooding, uh, anything like that, you can't. There's no landlord to turn to. You've got to have some reserves on the side to cover those repairs. And there's a lot. Typically, about they say about 3% of your mortgage is about the amount you should set aside for home maintenance, just for all the little things. And over time, things do break. Your dishwasher will break, your washer will break, your fridge will go out. Your plumbing, your water heater will go bad. You'll need, to replace doors and windows and fixtures. Um, those things don't last forever. So It's an ongoing expense as an owner, whereas a renter, you can just hop around. It's like an Airbnb. You can just stay in a new house, new apartment every couple years. And typically, when you move into a new apartment, it's going to be cleaned up. You know, the walls they painted. Sometimes they'll put new carpets, new appliances. It's usually updated, especially the nicer apartments. That will usually with all the new fancy features. You might have all your smart controls, your smart thermostat, smart lighting. You know, everything is going to be uh, controlled by a phone app. You can control your lighting, your temperature. It'll have maybe security cameras and all kinds of things that an older home may not have and would be quite expensive to add into an older home. So you get kind of a lot of these perks of, you know, if you keep moving into kind of the newer apartments or the newly remodeled ones, you get all the fancy new amenities, and you don't have to spend the big bucks by installing it yourself. So there are a lot of advantages to renting, especially if you like moving around a lot and you're not stuck, you know, with a job for a certain company, and you like to travel. Maybe you like to live international. So that may be a good choice, but in the long term, we'll find out in the next video if it's better for you to rent or to buy, even at today's crazy high prices. So we'll get into that in the next video, but this is just a quick update on the 35% cost over renting to own a home. So that's why you can see a lot of people don't want to buy a house right now because it's a lot cheaper to rent. So if the budget is tight, why would you spend an extra 35% a month on a mortgage when you can rent something nicer possibly and newly remodeled for 35% cheaper, and you don't have to worry about any headaches or surprise big repairs and expenses. So I'll see you in the next video. That's all for today. Your friend, Angry Tim.